Good morning, guys, and welcome to Unique Not Different with me, Shamala. And today I have a representative from the Ministry of Social Development, Disability Affairs Unit. She's a Disability Affairs Specialist, and we are actually going to talk about, what is the ministry's plan and the Disability Affairs Unit plan for the disabled community for 2022. So I have Tessa Pascall. Tessa, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Shamala. I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
So, Tessa, let's get straight into it. What are the ministry's priority areas of focus for 2022 as it relates to persons with disability?
So, in 2022, the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services is looking at Article 8 of the Convention, which, as you know, is awareness rising. So we are hoping to launch a national campaign on disability to address the myths and stereotypes surrounding persons with disabilities, as well as some of the disabilities themselves in terms of education surrounding various disabilities. And we are also looking at how we can create an inclusive environment for persons with disabilities.
Oh, okay.
We are also looking at the specific segments of the population to provide awareness to. So that will include schools, media, practitioners, because just correcting something you said, it's the community of persons with disabilities, not the disabled communities. So we are really looking to push people first language. So we have a united way of taking the movement forward in how we speak, and as well as we're looking to address parliamentarians in this year coming up and sensitize them to the population, its needs, and the uniqueness of that population.
So in terms of this area of priority and focus, right? How did the ministry come up with, okay, there's a whole host of underlying things that you can, I guess, as a ministry could focus on, given that you're the focal point for, I guess, policies and implementation and talent in persons with disability. Why focus on that specific area for 2022?
Okay, so the ministry is cognizant that meaningful change needs to occur in the attitude and behavior of citizens towards persons with disabilities within Trinidad and Tobago. And COVID-19, the pandemic, would have magnified some of these social gaps that are within the country. And there's no way that we can build back economically or develop in the future without the input of these marginalized groups, including persons with disabilities. Okay. So that is what would have fed into our decision making.
Okay, and going forward throughout the year, obviously cannot work in silos. So what type of collaboration are we expected to see with stakeholders, allies, and even the community with regards to campaign and policy implementation, policy draft, etc.?
So the ministry will be working with its partner agencies, other ministries, and stakeholders to promote the topic of disability, because like you said, we don't work in a silo. We need to get the input. And while Ministry of Social Development is the focal point, disability is a cross-cutting issue that requires every participant in the government system to take an active role in order for us to have an inclusive society. So we'll be partnering with them to promote the inclusion of disability into their policies and programs, as well as their budgeting, because we need to get money behind this effort, right? We have already, we are in the planning stages. We have to make contact with the Ministry of Digitalization, because we want, in our digitalization efforts moving forward, to have access for persons with disabilities. Of course, you can't create government portals and websites and so forth that are not accessible. We also want to speak with education, because we want to look at things going forward in that aspect. I know they already are working with us on some plans that they have to move their programs forward.
So just a quick question related to this, your response, right? You said you guys are at the planning stage. So when should we expect that the rollout in terms of starting to collaborate with these stakeholders? Would it be the first?
No, our planning stage is basically, we're waiting on things to leave the ministry.
Oh, perfect.
So we are already there, we're just waiting on things to go out to the partners.
So we expect I guess a more public or collaboration starting sooner.
Whether or not it's public will depend on what is happening, because some things are quite boring and it's happening, and it's only when it reaches that more exciting stage it will come out to the public.
Yeah. Awesome. Yes. I always ask this with regards to a database or statistics, collecting statistics for persons with disabilities, right? How far has the ministry reached in terms of creating that, I guess, statistic stuff? So that database for persons with disabilities.
So the ministry has actually started inputting data into the national registry. We started with the people who are in receipt of the disability assistance grant. Mm-hmm. However, that is in that program is now being done, but in the framework that the ministry is digitalizing. So we are also now implementing our integrated social enterprise management system, okay, right, which is basically a one-stop shop for social services. Mm-hmm. And in integrating that, we are looking at how the registry can play its role. Disability Affairs is working with the IT department to determine what data we are going to be gathering on persons with disabilities. And that data is going to be used, of course, we envision it being used as being able to identify the gaps. And having identified those gaps, then and only then we are able to plan targeted programs to meet those gaps and help the community of persons with disabilities.
Perfect. So last question, if persons need information or clarity with respect to the services rendered for the ministry, how is there a specific medium to contact someone to get this clarity?
Mm-hmm. So the Disability Affairs Unit can be contacted at their email address, disabilityaffairs@social.gov.tt. That email address again is disabilityaffairs@social.gov.tt. The number for the entire ministry, of course, is 623-2608. The extensions for the Disability Affairs units are 1153, 1155, 1150, 1156, 57, or 58.
Perfect. So Tessa, thank you so much for coming and imparting this information as it relates to what the Disability Affairs Unit plans on doing for 2022. And I hope that in the future, you guys come on and keep I guess not campaigning but promoting what is being done on my segment as it relates to persons with disabilities. So thank you so much again. It was a pleasure speaking with you and having you, come and share everything that is going on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Perfect. So guys, with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to this week's segment of Unique Not Different. As I always say, until next week, be good, do good. Bye guys.